Hey guys, it's Cheyenne with Positively Cheyenne, and thank you again for coming on back. We're going to go over the next top ways to improve your happiness, and we are going to start with number 4, which is be creative. I went over the first 3 in another video, so you can go check that out. Like, subscribe, and comment on it. I would really appreciate any feedback that you guys have. And let's get started. So, be creative. You may think of artists like musicians, or not musicians, but like painters and things like that, as moody or depressed, but studies show that engaging in creative activities on the regular basis actually makes you happier. Those who spend time using imagination and being creative have more enthusiasm and are more likely to have feelings of long-term happiness and well-being. Creative activities you can get lost in. Creative activities show a side of who you are through your mind, right? And it's something that you can be proud of. Being creative. Creative things are like painting, writing a song, singing, playing an instrument. What else? Drawing. Just anything that's creative, right? So I'm a singer, and when I perform at certain shows on the coast with bands, I have people come up to me, and I'm still not good at taking compliments. I'm really not. You can ask anyone. I feel so being famous would like make me so weird. I can't take compliments very well. I'm like I'm that girl that when you walk up and you're like, that was so amazing, or they're crying, or they're like, God, that was so good, I'm like thanks. It's bad. It's really bad. But when you accomplish something like a song, right, or a painting that somebody appreciates and someone sees the value in, or it's just like I said in another video where you're celebrating small wins. It's something that can impact the world, impact you, impact your happiness, and give you something to celebrate. Celebrating you, like I said in the first video. Drawings is something that you can look back on. Even memories, just making memories is something that, can be something so rewarding later on, as far as, giving you an outlet, basically, to have on the regular, but also be something that you can look back at and be like, hey, I did that. That was me. I did that. I changed that person's life. I sang a song and made them feel good. I played a song and made them feel good. I painted something and that resonated with them. It's a release too. Something creative and you guys could even garden. Go create a landscape, in your yard. Anything. I love flowers. I'm always saying that I'm gonna have a garden. My grandmother did, and every time I went to her house, I was mesmerized. It was beautiful, and that's something that you can be creative with too, and just bring you so much beauty and so much light, and make you smile every day because you get to wake up and see it. I have a painting that I did, and I'll show it to you guys sometime, but I did. I painted it, and I actually went against the grain. It was one of those painting drinking classes where it was for one of my best friend's parties. And her birthday was a surprise party, and everybody was painting like the colors that you're supposed to paint, and I'm like, because blue and yellow and all that didn't really match my decor. I'm very like I film in my bedroom, but it's like corals and golds and black and white and stuff like that, and it wouldn't have matched. So I'm like, I'm gonna do what I want. And when I made it, I loved it. And it was really pretty. But it was something that I celebrated. It was something that I wanted. It was a personal touch of mine, and I don't know, I felt I felt cool after I painted that thing, let me tell you. You know, and I know how to play piano. I can pick up piano by ear. I'm not great at reading music. So, you know, it's something that resonates with me. And when I learn how to do something new, it does something to your soul, I think, that you're just like, yeah, I mastered another skill. I mastered this. And it just makes you feel good. And so you really are happier when you're doing something creative, you know, and that can be anything that you guys want, anything. So the next topic we're going to talk about is practice mindfulness. And this is number 5. Mindfulness mediation works by bringing your awareness and attention to the present moment. Let me say that again. Mindfulness mediation works by bringing your awareness and attention to the present moment. It's about being non-judgmental and accepting how you are feeling. Practicing being mindful means being present, aware, and curious. Accepting what you're going through decreases stress and helps us see situations for what they are. You can find peace and affirmation in us. So I'm a big words of affirmation person. And if someone is watching this, he's probably laughing at me right now, which is fine. But I'm a big words of affirmation person. I like to be in the present moment. I like to make people feel good. I feel like actions are super important, but I think words are too. Integrity is important. I don't say anything that I don't mean. I don't say anything that I don't honestly feel. And I like to make people feel good with words as well. Bring them up when they're feeling down. Let them know that I'm thinking about them. Things of that nature. I just got an email, I'm sorry, regarding the job that I was talking about in the first video about being let go of the pandemic. Maybe now that everybody's getting vaccinated, maybe we can reopen again. I'll have to read that thing later. Yay! But yeah, just practicing mindfulness and being in the present moment. You know, like there are things that we go through, right? Like grief, you know, losing people. It's super hard. But I think that if you let yourself be in that moment, grief, cry, it's okay. I don't want him to hear me, but I have 3 kids, right? And they're all different. They're all so different. My middle son's a very emotional person like me. He loves people wholeheartedly like I do. He feels their pain if they're going through something. You know, he watches someone that I know's lives every Thursday night, and we help people with disability law. And you know, these people are obtaining their disability benefits, and we hear so many stories, you know, from people with cancer, childhood cancer, you know, people who suffer from PTSD, veterans, you know, things of that nature. And it's horrible to hear the struggles that people go through, and how unfortunate it is. So when my son listens to that, he's just like, oh my gosh, like I can't even imagine that. He's like, tell her I'm praying for her, you know, things of that nature. He's a very emotional person, and I tell him, I'm like, hey, don't be afraid to show your emotion. Don't be afraid to, but don't get taken advantage of, you know, like, I don't believe that showing emotion is a sign of weakness. I think it can be if it is done in, you know, like you don't want to shed tears about everything. And I think that there are people that don't deserve your tears. I think that you have to really trust people to let them see that vulnerable side of you. But he does get emotional, and he shows his emotions, and I tell him, hey, a good cry is not a bad thing. Doesn't make you any less of a man, doesn't make you weak. It doesn't. Being present in that moment and feeling is okay. You know, it's okay. Everybody goes through it. Hey, we all bleed the same. We all shed those same salty ass tears. You know, like we're all the same. So, you know, just being present in a moment and accepting things for what they are is a big deal, and it shouldn't go unnoticed. It's been a big deal for me in my own life, because it's been hard to accept things for the way they are in a couple situations that I've been in, because I just didn't understand it. I'm just like, hey, you know, like, I love this way. This is the heart that I have. Why is somebody doing this to me? You know, and you have to retrain your mind to be like, okay, it's not me, it's them, and it's something that they're going through that you need to respect, you know, how they feel and where they're coming from, and try to understand on their level, instead of, you know, being selfish and kind of only thinking about what you feel and like your feelings are all that matters. That's not how life works. So just be mindful of certain things like that, I would say. And you can improve your happiness if you learn to be more accepting of certain things in life that could bring you down and keep you in a negative mindset. The next one is accept imperfection. Many of us strive for perfection. We desire to push ourselves to be our best. But in order to be truly happy, you must embrace the imperfection that is a part of life. I always say that we are perfectly imperfect beings. I even have a shirt that says that. I saw it in a store one time. I'm like, that's mine. And I bought another one today. It says the same thing for me to wear in one of these videos, so I can spread the message. But yeah, nobody's perfect. And perfection is impossible, you know, and holding ourselves and others to those standards is futile. You know, we will always end up feeling let down. And it's sad but true. Nobody's going to be perfect. We all have flaws, and not accepting those flaws. I mean, I'm not saying accept all of them, right? Like, everybody has flaws, and you have to learn what to accept and what not to accept for you. It's not what Cheyenne feels. It's not what Tom down the street feels to accept. It's what you accept, okay? And what is acceptable for you in your life, and what you're willing to deal with, and what you find acceptable. You know, accept that life is imperfect, and recognize that there is beauty and grace in that perfection. Do not compare yourself to other people's situations that you feel might be perfect, because you really don't know their story until you know their story. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people paint an image of their life in a light that may not be true, that they show in pictures, or they tell you a version of their story. And my best friend has always told me, there is your version, there's my version, and there's the truth, right? Don't compare yourself to those sorts of things in life, as far as, you know, what you see as perfection in other people. Don't compare your life to that. Just learn what's right for you, and learn from the lessons that you've been taught in life, and apply those going forward, and really try to focus on who is in your corner and who is authentic and genuine. And I know that people can be liars. I know that people can be fake. And I know that, you know, some things are not what they seem. You know, if in the beginning, I mean, God, I've been duped by people who, you know, who've had a really horrible past, and then they act like this, you know, they have this come to Jesus, like, oh, I'm this person now because I've learned and I've applied those lessons to my life, and I'm not that way anymore. And it was all a lie. You know, it was all a lie. So, but those lessons taught me to be more hyper aware of the situations that I'm getting myself into and the red flags to look for. You know, nobody's going to look out for you the way that you look out for yourself. And know that first and foremost. If you find a rare individual who loves you unconditionally and will have your back no matter what, hold on to them. They're rare. Extremely rare. Next, number 7 is do what you love. It's pretty hard to maintain happiness if you hate your job, right? Like, you know, if you're working in a job where you're just a slave to it, right? Like you just did it for the money and it wasn't something that you really had an interest, or it was like a job that your mom pushed you to get because that was her dream. That was her vision, right? It's not, or, you know, even a significant other pushed you to do it. You know, if it's not your dream and it is not something that you want to invest in and that you can see yourself doing long term, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're going to be miserable. And, you know, doing what you love, they say, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? So really think about what makes you happy. Search your soul and do the things that you love to do. You know, you don't want to waste the best years of your life in a joyless job, even if it's paying the bills. You don't. It's not worth it. You know, think about what you're interested in, what you're truly passionate about. Focus on building a career in an area that motivates you and will provide you with a high level of satisfaction, and your happiness factor will go up exponentially. And that's so true. That's so true. I was just talking to someone the other day about, you know, I love disability law. Like, I really do. And there are people that hate it. There are people that are miserable in it. But I love it. And I know that I love it for reasons that maybe I could venture off into other avenues, because I love helping people. And it's hard because I'm viewed, when I see claimants come into my office, I am supposed to be on the government side of it. You know, like I work next to the federal judges in the courtroom. But I still feel for these people that walk into my office, you know, like I want to help them. It's just something that, you know, burns my soul and my heart all the time about helping people in need. When I was a kid, you know, up till I was a teenager even, you know, everyone's going on summer vacations and going to summer camp and enjoying their summers and blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to donate my time. I volunteered at the VA for the adult care center. I volunteered, and they trained me like a tech at an animal hospital. I've worked with disabled children. It's something that I love to do, and it makes me happy. So that's something that I love, and I want to stay in. And this is why I made the channel too. You know, like I want to give back to people who need it. I want to talk to people and get their stories and help them and be a part of the change and be a part of, you know, improving someone's life. That's what I want to do. I don't know what else to say about that part, but just do what you love. Okay, get into something that you love to do. Find an outlet. It could be an outlet too. Like work can be an outlet. It can be an outlet. Like it doesn't have to feel like work, you know? Number 8 is spend wisely. Not on 7 or 8 boats or 7 or 8 cars that don't maybe work right now. No, I'm just kidding. That's for somebody that's watching. And I love you. I'm just kidding. Don't call. You're gonna like call me right now and you're gonna be like, hey, So it's tempting to believe that the more money you have, the happier you'll be. But the reality is, it's how you spend your money that helps you feel happier. The key is to do it wisely. Spending money on experiences, travel, dining, concerts, things like that can make us happier because we are sharing those experiences with others. You hear that? You're sharing those experiences with others. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Happiness connected to material possessions fade away, but experiences help us define our purpose and passions in life. Wait, what did I put? My example. Oh, I talked about my Ross and Marshall's addiction like I did in my first video. I do. I love it. I love it because I'm not one of those materialistic people that I'm like, oh, I need the Gucci purse and the Louis Vuitton hoo-ha ching chong, you know, like whatever. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that has 16,000 shoes that cost $1,000 or whatever. It's like, for what? But you know, I did drop a large sum of money on, ooh, my video, my camera's going, had too much wine today. So I did drop some large bills on my new puppy. I lost my dog on February 9th. We believe that she had a brain tumor, and she had a seizure, and I held her until she took her last breath. And my other dog, who is a chocolate lab, the one that I lost, she was 13 years old, by the way. She had a full, wonderful life. She was the best dog ever. She was a Boston Terrier. Her name was Tess. But when we lost her, it was really, really hard. First loss for my kids. And it was, you know, a loss for my other dog, Sky. She's a chocolate lab. And I think she kind of looked to Tess as a mother, which is super funny because Tess is like tiny and she's huge. Sky's huge. She's a big old lab. And you guys will see her sometime. She'll pop in here like she did in the first video. You can hear her tail going dong dong chong chong. But I knew that I needed to get another puppy because there's 2020 was a nightmare, and 2021 started out not so great either. And then I lost her, and Sky was sad. Like, she didn't eat for 3 days and things like that. And I'm like, she needs a friend. So I wanted a French bulldog. They're just kind of like Boston's, but with pointy little ears. If you go on Walter Knott's channel, which is the SSA Disability, I always say it wrong, SSA Disability Benefits Attorney. I actually help with his channel, and in the community tab, I have a picture of my little baby. His name's Kingsley. But it was the best investment that I've made so far. His mannerisms are like Tess. It's crazy. If I've told you, it's crazy. Sky's happier. There was a big age gap between Sky and Tess, and she wasn't playing with toys, and she wasn't like doing the normal puppy stuff because she had a dog who was like 10 years older than her and was like, screw those toys. Like, I just want to be a couch potato and just feed me, you know? But now she's like playing with toys. She's getting tons of exercise, running around this puppy. She's really happy. She's really happy. And so are my kids. And like I said, I have these moments where I look at him and he reminds me a lot of Tess, and he does things like her. And I know that even though I'm partially broke now, it was worth it. So, you know, I also spend a lot of money like going out to dinner with my kids, or, you know, going to live bands and spending time with people. You're building memories, and at the end of the day, you're not going to be thinking about the boat you bought, the car you bought, the this or the that you had. You're going to remember your experiences with people. That's all. That's all. So invest in making memories is what I would say. Invest in making memories with people. That's where your money is best well spent. And so with that, I'm going to end it here, and then we will go on to the next one, where I will talk about living in the moment, cultivate gratitude, give back, and surprise yourself, and listen to and engage with music. These are just some of the top 20 ways that you can improve your happiness. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please subscribe and like this video. Feel free to comment anything that you want, anything that you guys would like to see as well. Please comment and let me know. Give me your feedback, and I will definitely respond to you. Thank you guys again so much. Stay safe, stay happy, and smile. Please just smile. And I will catch you on the next video. Thanks, guys.